This is Mary. Welcome to the IHC Craft Room.
In today's video, I'm excited to show you how I made these Easter themed candles. And you're gonna want to involve your kids in this one because it'll be a lot of fun. Grab all your stuff and let's get crafty.
For materials, we'll begin with some Freedom Soy Wax, 2 10-ounce TERRA Jars in glossy white, Crackling Booster large wood wicks, some Wick Stickums, purple liquid dye, 2 30ml True Lilac fragrance oil. What a beautiful fragrance. And some Easter stickers. For tools, we'll begin with a saucepan, a kitchen scale, a small pour pot, a 5-ounce glass measuring cup, some paper towels, some parchment paper, a temperature gun, a pot holder, a stir stick, a pair of scissors, and some rubber gloves. Let's start by heating up the water, and while that's happening, let's measure out our wax. How much wax do we need? Let's do some super fast candle maker math. Watch how fast this is going to be. Are you ready? 2 10-ounce TERRA jars that I want to fill to 9 ounces each, including a 10% fragrance load. I'll need a total of 460 grams of wax and 50 ml of oil. Boom! Candle maker math. Sweet. Now we know how much we need. So let's go ahead and pour 460 grams. Not 461 or 459. 460, my friends. And once we have that done, I'm just going to pop it into the water and let that start to get all melty like. While we move on to measuring out the fragrance oil again, we're looking for about 50 mils on the nose because that's how weird I am. Anything more or less is just unacceptable. 50 mils, kids. Hey, quick question. Have you ever poured fragrance oil on the bare skin of your hands? No? Well, I don't recommend you try it unless you want to smell like that for the foreseeable future. Therefore, as usual, rubber gloves, you're my homies. And my patented parchment paper towel method to protect the scale and tabletop? Yeah, patent pending is all I'm saying. Awesome. We have our fragrance oil measured and our wax measured. So now it's time to focus on our wicks. We're going to be using wood wicks today. And lately, I've had some success with pre-cutting my wood wicks rather than leaving them full length and cutting them after the candle has set. First, I'm going to make sure my wick is firmly in the wick clip, and then I'll place it in the vessel and eyeball where I think the perfect height is. And that's where I'm going to cut it. Now, I do have to cut it a little bit longer than I would like, because what if I'm wrong and I pour too much wax and then my wax is higher than my wick? Well, I just made myself a waxy paperweight, didn't I? Which is not what we're going for here. We're trying to make us some Easter candles. So if you've watched some of my candle making videos in the past, you know I like to put a dot at the bottom of my vessel to guide where I'm going to be placing my wick. But since this vessel is not see-through, my go-to dots are not going to be useful today. So we're going to go old school, folks, and use that eyeball and keep your hands as steady as possible. Let's hope we can get to the center on the first try. And as always, this is your reminder. Make sure to secure your wicks down as firmly as possible. Ain't no floating wicks allowed over here. A New York accent is definitely not a skill of mine. Anywho, now it's time to hurry up and wait. Since I have my vessels and fragrance ready to go, I'm basically just at the mercy of science and my epic impatience. So tell me, what do you do while you wait for the wax to melt? I generally take the time to clean up my work area, put things away that I don't need anymore, and then I just kind of like sing or curse until the wax is fully melted. Sometimes I sing a curse, meaning I sing my curses. And I'm sure you want to know what that sounds like, but not today, kids, sorry. Let's not forget that we're making Easter candles here, so let's try to have some decorum, shall we? Are you watching this wax in the corner over here? It's like at a rave or something. It's hopping all over the place. I thought it was going to jump out of the double boiler. I gotta admit, I'm a little jelly. It looks like it's having a good time. But if it could just be faster for Lady Impatience over here, that would be super. Okay, the wax is finally melted, and by the time I was taking it off the heat, the temperature was in the high 190s. It's time to mix in our fragrance oil and add our color. My standard warning here is to find balance between not stirring enough and stirring too much. Think of Goldilocks. That's where you want to be. We definitely want the oil and wax to completely mix together, but we don't want to overmix. Now let's talk color. I was shooting for a very pale lilac color, so I used 5 drops of liquid dye. And you know what? Wrong again, Mary. Liquid color dye is just not speaking my language yet. It's a little darker than I would have liked. Every candle that I've made lately has been way too light. So here I am thinking 5 drops is going to be the perfect amount. Not so much, Mary. Not so much. Let's move on. Now that I've added my fragrance oil and color, we are super close to the 160-degree temperature for pouring. I'm only off by 1 degree here, so a normal human would probably be like 161 is fine. But hello, weirdo over here? If it's 160, it's 160 or bust. So watch Lady Impatience try to cool down the wax so that I can get my 160 before I pour. Yes, I am that weird. You're welcome. You can enjoy it with me. Okay, it's finally time to pour. I couldn't be more excited. And because these are wood wicks, I don't have to worry about wick centering tools or anything to make sure that they stay upright and in the right spot. As of right now, this looks like mission accomplished on the centered and straight wicks. Let's see what they look like after they cure for 24 hours. As usual, Freedom Soy Wax equals beautiful smooth tops, no question about it. I do have a small sinkhole right here beside the wick, and on the other side there is the beginnings of a sinkhole as well, but it's not a big deal and easily corrected with a heat gun. What I really want to point out though are these beads of oil that you can see across the tops of both of these candles. It is noticeable and it can be removed, as you can see as I wipe it off with my finger. What is causing this is that the fragrance oil has sweat through the surface of our candle, and it's based on cooling temperatures. This is caused by a somewhat drastic change in temperature that impacts the cooling process of the candle, resulting in this oil on top. But worry not, my friends. These candles are still gonna party hard. And quite frankly, you'll notice as we continue through this video that the oil disappears. It gets reabsorbed into the candles without my help. So no action required by Mary. Now here's the part where you're gonna want to involve all the little humans in your life, because who doesn't enjoy stickers? Nobody I want to talk to, I'll tell you that. There's just something so fun and satisfying about adding cute little stickers to these beautiful glossy vessels. And it's just another opportunity to be creative and to encourage the little ones in your world to find creativity in themselves every single day. I picked up these cute little stickers from my local Dollarama, but I'm sure you can find them at any dollar store. Some of these are specifically designed to be put on eggs, which is why they're so teeny tiny, but I think that makes them extra cute. I could honestly have spent an embarrassing amount of time doing this, so I'm gonna make sure that this part is extra sped up so you can judge me in silence because I can't hear you anyway. Okay, it's time to light these little Easter cuties up, but first I need to trim down my wick a little bit more. You want it to be about 1/4 inch high, and let me tell you, these wick trimmers that I got from Village Craft and Candle are super sharp and cut through these wood wicks like butter. Again with the New York accent, I really need to let it go. By the time I got to the 2-hour mark, my burn pool had reached the edge of the vessel, so I'm very happy with my wick selection, and let me tell you that this hot throw is just fantastic. What a perfect Easter fragrance. It's really very lovely and comforting and just such a lovely fragrance. Thank you for joining me on this spring chicken, fluffy bunny, little cute Easter candle making project. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Don't forget to use code IHC5 for 5% off your entire purchase of candle supplies at Village Craft and Candle. If you enjoyed this tutorial from a beginner, please subscribe to my channel so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!